Welcome to my channel, guys. My name is James. I've been wanting to do this recipe for a while, and today we're finally going to do it. We're going to be making some focaccia. Now, I'm going to show you a little later, after we're done with this, on what you can do with the pesto that we made in the last video. We're going to make like a little sandwich, and that's about it. It's a very easy and simple recipe. There is a bit of a process to it though. You have to follow the steps if you want to make the focaccia very, very good. So anyway, before we get started, be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done already, hit that like button, and check out the rest of my videos that I have on my YouTube channel. So let's get started. So to start this recipe off, we want to weigh out first about 500 grams of white flour. Then we want to weigh out about 325 milliliters of tempered lukewarm water. And we're going to add our yeast to the water. Now, I'm using fresh yeast, so I'm going to be adding a little more. If you're using a dry packet of yeast, you want to use about 7 or 8 grams when you add this. And you're just going to take a fork and stir it in. Mix it very, very well. Right, now I'm just going to add like a tablespoon more or less of some olive oil. It just adds more richness to the dough when you're making it. And then I'm going to add a nice pinch of salt, not too much. So now we want to add our water to the mix. We're just going to add it very slowly with a spoon until it starts to absorb the water and until you get it to more or less this consistency. Then you can use your hands. Alright, so a quick method on how to stretch the dough. So you have a nice round piece like this. We're just going to take our hand, we're going to push out, we're going to fold it, we're going to turn it and do the process again. We want to knead this very, very well. The reason why is it's very important that we work the gluten to make it more elastic, because we want to trap, and this is why we're also folding it, we want to trap as much air in it as possible. Because when you look at a focaccia or a piece of focaccia bread, it kind of looks not like Swiss cheese, but it does have a lot of air pockets in it, which makes it very, very soft and squishy on the inside and crispy on the outside, which is what we want. So you have to work a little bit to make this a very nice loaf of bread, but it's definitely worth the effort. Just a little exercise in the morning. So after you get it to more or less this consistency, where you can tell it's more elastic, it's stretchy, this is what we want because it's trapping the air. So we're going to add now a little bit of flour on the board, just a little bit, put it into a bowl, put the bowl over it, and let it rest for 40 minutes. So guys, after tidying up the kitchen a little bit and after the 40 minutes are up, you can tell how much it's risen. This is exactly what you want. So you can even make this ahead of time the day before. You're just going to let it proof in the fridge overnight, and you can easily do this ahead of time. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of polenta, or you can also use semolina if you have it, and we're just going to spread it on the bottom of the tray. You can also add a bit of oil to the tray if you don't want to use this. It's totally optional. And we're just going to lay it down in the gastro. So now is the part that you can add whatever you want to the top of it. It's very, very flexible. We're going to add today a little bit of tomato and basil, because tomato and basil go very, very well together, but exceptionally well. You can also add cheese if you want. Let's say maybe a nice gorgonzola cheese on top, even if you want maybe some other herbs such as rosemary or thyme, whatever you want. We're going to add a little more oil to the top of it, just like a tablespoon or two, not too much. And then we're just going to make some indentations for the things that we're going to put in. And just use your fingers. And these pieces of tomato and basil, we're just going to stick inside these little indentations that we've made. And this is going to infuse more flavor into the bread. Now we're going to take a clean rag, get it wet, and obviously squeeze the excess water off. You're going to drape it over the container, and we're going to let this sit until it doubles in size, or for at least another 40 minutes, more or less. So I'll see you guys in another 40 minutes. Okay, after the 40 minutes are up, we're gonna take off the rag, and as you can see, my goodness, it looks very, very nice. It's doubled in size. So after the 40 minutes of proofing for the second time, now we're going to preheat our oven to about 200 centigrade or about 390 Fahrenheit or about 400, more or less. And we're only gonna leave it in for about 20 to 25 minutes or until it's done. That's it. Very, very simple and easy. Okay, after about 20-25 minutes, we're gonna take it out and it should look like this. Absolutely beautiful, nice. You have a beautifully golden brown crust on top. We're going to add just a little more olive oil on top of it. And now we're going to let it rest for a few minutes to let it cool down. Okay, now while it's still hot, we're going to make a sandwich. So I'm just going to cut this in half. And that pesto that we made the other time, we can use for this as well. So we're just going to put this on. A generous amount of pesto. I'm going to take a little bit of mozzarella and make an easy focaccia grilled cheese sandwich. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It is a good recipe. The only thing is that the pan that I used is a little small for the recipe because my big one had a little accident a few days ago and it doesn't exist anymore. So I had to use this one. And normally it would be a little thinner and that way the air pockets and everything will be a little bigger. But anyway, it still has a lot of flavor in it, right? Because you added a lot of salt to it. So it still tastes very, very good. And with the pesto that we made in the last video, it tastes even better with a little bit of grilled cheese. If you want to add a little ham, you can, or arugula as well. It all works very, very well. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. Hit that like button as always. Thank you for watching and check out the rest of my videos I have on my YouTube channel as I have a lot of recipes. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask and write down in the comment section down below. And if you have any ideas as well, guys, let me know. Thank you again and I'll see you again very, very soon.